right to the chase, y'all. Boxing fans, how long are you going to allow yourself to get duped? Ladies and gentlemen, let your boy Punch Drunk be here for you. Let me preach. Let me teach. Humble your minds, regardless if you're supporters or non-supporters, or you might not like my take on this particular content. Just listen to me right quick. Ladies and gentlemen, you already know it's Punch Drunk Boxing, a.k.a. El Adobo, El Sazón, El Borracho, El Pastor de Boxeo. Congratulations to Vasily Lomachenko by defeating Richard Comey. Congratulations to George Kambosos Jr. for defeating Teofimo Lopez. Congratulations for Devin the Dream Haney for defeating Jojo Diaz. Now, the primary fight that I want to see in the lightweight division is Devin the Dream Haney versus George Kambosos for all the marbles. That's the primary fight I want to see in the lightweight division. Yet, that's the fight that is not going to happen. The fight that's going to happen next, or the big fight for George Kambosos, will be Vasily Lomachenko. And the fault of that, and I know that some of y'all ain't going to like what I'm going to say, is DHP. Devin the Dream Haney, Devin Haney Promotions. Ladies and gentlemen, you could blame whoever you want to blame. You could blame the Eddie Hearns of the world that this fight is not gonna happen. You could blame Bob Arum. You could blame the network, the Zone, the ESPN, or Blue, the Bello, whatever. Ladies and gentlemen, the fault, and it's unfortunate, but let me tell you why. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I've been trying to say, even when we was talking about the Teofimo Lopez and the situation where we want to see Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez, is that Devin Haney has the power to petition, to fight, and be ordered, and to be a mandatory to the franchise. The franchise, that belt that nobody likes, that everybody despises. At the end of the day, let's not forget, ladies and gentlemen, that Devin the Dream Haney had the chance to petition to be a voluntary defense to the franchise when it was Lomachenko. Now, of course, he couldn't, he was off limits as a mandatory, but Lomachenko was not off the table. He was not off the table as a voluntary. He was only off the table as a mandatory. Check it out. Well, hear it for yourself, because I understand a lot of people may not like the way when it comes out of my mouth. Let the other people say it. The people that you may not like as well. You may not like it from the president of the WBC or when Bill Haney is speaking, but let them chop it up a little bit so you can understand what I'm trying to say right now.
When he got up on that stage, he was taking off the possibility of us being able to challenge him or petition to fight him. I could have never petitioned to fight him.
Yeah, that would have to be voluntary, yes.
So Lomachenko was never off the table, regardless of him being franchised. It's just that he was never going to be mandated to fight anybody. The obligation to be mandated, but you could have petitioned for you to fight the franchise, like they have petitioned to fight Jorge Nares, like they have petitioned to fight Gamboa, like they have petitioned to fight Santiago. Now, ladies and gentlemen, fast forward to when Teofimo Lopez has the franchise. Prior to the fight with George Kambosos and prior to the fight with George Kambosos versus Teofimo Lopez, Bill Haney, DHP, the trainer and father manager of Devin Haney, was in the Boxing Voice. And they was talking to Mauricio Sudamon, the president of the WBC, in terms of figuring out a way, can Devin Haney petition, or can he be ordered, or what's the process of him ordering so he could fight the franchise WBC champion, in which the WBC have stated that they have put the WBC franchise above any champion in their sanctioning bodies, whether you like it or not, whether it made a lot of confusion, whether other belt federation recognizes this is what the WBC have stated. So how can we get Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez to fight? So they opposed the question. Nestor Gibbs opposed the question, and this what the WBC president, Mauricio Sudamon, stated.
Is it as simple as a Bill Haney, Devin Haney representative showing up to the WBC convention this month and petitioning for an opportunity to face the franchise champion in Teofimo?
That could be one of the. Of course, we always take the official petitions and we attend them and we go through the process and make a voting. So that is one of the ways to make things happen.
So you see, ladies and gentlemen, so Devin Haney goes to Twitter and tweets, and this is what he says. Hold on, folks. The fans, the people, don't let them cheat me out of my shot at Undisputed. If anyone deserves it, it's me. Now, I agree that the one that deserves it, the primary fighter that deserves the shot at George Kambosos Jr. is Devin Haney. I agree. Yet, Devin Haney and everybody in boxing, you know that the fans do not call the shot. It don't matter what the fans want. The fans never wanted the franchise, and most of the fans want the franchise to be out and put out in the trash. We want a lot of belts to be put in the trash. But guess what? They don't listen to the fans. The fans are not in business with the sanctioning bodies. Y'all are. The fighters have to speak. The fighter has to throw certain titles in the garbage. And if you're not treated well, it's up to you to fight for yourselves. And how do you fight for yourselves? And how do you ask for something in the sport of boxing? Because the fans can't petition. Promoters can't petition. And what is Devin Haney? A promoter. So guess what? Lomachenko right now is #1 WBC, correct? He could be in mandatory position. He didn't fight Nakatani to become that wasn't a WBC final eliminator, right? To become a mandatory. He's rated #1, right? How about you take out the guy that's also in position to be having a shot of George Kambosos? Or you petition that you want to fight that you want to fight George Kambosos, or you want to petition that you want to fight Lomachenko. Either or. Devin Haney has the power, the license, the promoter license to petition for the fight versus George Kambosos, just like he did the other fights that he has fought in. So politically, Devin Haney let Lomachenko get back in position. Ladies and gentlemen, everything in the sport of boxing has to do with petitioning. Has to do with petitioning. And Devin the Dream Haney is in more position to petition for fights than Lomachenko's, because Lomachenko is not a licensed promoter. Ryan Garcia is not a licensed promoter. Jojo Diaz is not a licensed promoter. Teofimo Lopez is not a licensed promoter. Kambosos is not a licensed promoter. Devin the Dream Haney is a boss, and he's in power position and in great position due to the great move that his father has done for his career and putting his son in position. But you can't ask for the fans, because if it has to do with the fans, trust me, we'll file a petition, and if the WBC takes it, trust me, if we have a voice like that, meaning that we can file a petition and give it to the WBC and they do what we say, I believe that a lot of people will pick Devin Haney to fight George Kambosos. There's a lot of polls going on in the YTBC, and a lot of people want Devin Haney to get that shot just like me. But is Devin Haney doing the business decisions to get the fight with George Kambosos? Now, ladies and gentlemen, I already explained to y'all that Lomachenko was in position in the WBO and the WBC. Well, in the WBO, y'all already know that top-ranked Bob Arum is going to petition for Vasyl Lomachenko to be the mandatory to George Kambosos through the WBO. Should Devin Haney petition for the WBC route that he's in petition as a WBC title holder? Now, let me tell you this, folks. Remember why they did the franchise. It's to make the biggest fight. It's to make the biggest fight. Ladies and gentlemen, the biggest fight, is it Devin Haney versus Kambosos, or is it Lomachenko and Kambosos? Remember, Devin Haney, he was a good amateur, but really didn't went to the Olympics. I don't believe he went to the Pan American game. He traveled, but didn't travel like other amateurs. Not like Lomachenko. Lomachenko was known around the world in the sport of boxing. I believe that more people know Lomachenko in Australia than Devin Haney. Now, the fight, principality, morally, we want to see Devin Haney versus Kambosos. But let's not forget, he got all the titles, but that title right there, that WBC franchise is to make the biggest fight, right? Is the reason why Juan Francisco Estrada got the franchise right now, so the fans could see the biggest fight in that division is Roman Gonzalez, Chocolatito versus Estrada 3. It's time for Devin Haney to petition the WBC so he could be in position to be the mandatory to George Kambosos. Whether we like it or not, that's what he needs to do on this side. Because the WBC is already considered George Kambosos undisputed. They already considered George and Lomachenko, the bigger fight for him now is George Kambosos. Devin Haney has to do what he needs to do. And put it this way, y'all. A lot of people's also mad. Lomachenko, he the one that petitioned for the stupid franchise belt. But he got it when they petitioned for him. Oh, Canelo Alvarez petitioning to get this. Well, he got it, right? Oh, Teofimo Lopez petitioned so he could win the franchise off of Lomachenko. Well, he got it. That if you're petitioning by the WBC and every time somebody petitions the WBC and they get what they want, it's time for Devin Haney to petition to the WBC the right way, the legacy route. And petition to be the mandatory to George Kambosos. And if he don't, it will be Vasyl Lomachenko versus George Kambosos Jr. And Devin Haney will never get a legacy fight in the lightweight division because we all know he's running out. He's growing out of the 135-pound division. Let's not forget also what they have spoken about, the WBC and his dad, about his weight.
And you also told me several times that you were thinking of moving up to super lightweight.
Exactly.
And your son, after the fight, after the weigh-in, the next day he was 24 pounds over the weight division. So we had reasons that he could be.
When was he 24 pounds over?
After the weigh-in, the next day when he fought, he was 20 or 24 pounds heavier than the day.
Oh, he was hydrated. You said he hydrated up 20 to 24
Absolutely.
pounds.
So
now,
when you have that, it is a reason to believe that the fighter can be moving up in weight.
Well, yes. And it could be a reason.
Every moment, we have given every chance. We have been everything right there supporting yourself.
I think
So they are ready. And they've been supporting Devin Haney and anything that he does and anything that he have requested. But now, is he going to request for what is right? What he should request, what is morally right for his legacy. And maybe Devin Haney is young. Maybe he's not the one that's been doing the petitioning. Maybe he's never done a petition. And I know he considers himself as a boss, and I consider him as a boss as well. But I understand that other people does his business handling, right? But it's now, if you're listening to me, my brother, Devin Haney, it's time for you to really be and sitting in that room and really understand that you have the power to petition. And we request that you should be the mandatory to George Kambosos through the WBC. That's the only way. Because in reality, you can't put Kambosos in handcuffs like other sanctioning bodies like Lomachenko and the WBO. If the WBO orders George Kambosos and he don't want to fight him, he gets stripped. If the WBA orders Gervonta Tank Davis, in which they can make their move as well through the WBA route with Gervonta Tank Davis. See, he dropped the 140, but he ain't dropped the 135 regular title. If Mayweather Promotions and PBC Al Heyman petitions for Gervonta Tank Davis to be a mandatory in the WBA route, what you think George Kambosos is going to do? Where you think is the most money fight for George Kambosos? So it's time for Devin Haney to really request what he needs to request. And he needs to do it right now. Because in all reality, Lomachenko will need to hack his business handlers for the petitioning. Gervonta Tank Davis will need to ask his business handlers for the petitioning. Devin Haney, you a licensed promoter. You don't got to ask nobody. You a boss. You go straight tomorrow. Call them up. Mauricio Sotomayor, I want this. I want that. Make this happen so the board could vote on it. Because just like he said in the boxing voice, that's one way that you can make it happen. So, ladies and gentlemen, some of y'all might understand what I'm saying, but this is the realness. This is the realness, whether you like it or not. And boxing is about petitioning. Request, petitioning. And Devin Haney is in position to do so. And if he don't do it, he ain't never going to get a shot. He's never going to get a shot. He's going to outgrow the 135 by late 2022, and he's going to have to move to 140. And use that WBC title in 135 and use it to petition so you could be in position in 140. Before these guys work their way up like Teofimo Lopez. He don't got no belts. So you could even put yourself in better position than Teofimo Lopez in 140 with that belt that you got. Time to be smart about it. I'm going to say it again. I want Devin Haney versus George Kambosos. But the business of boxing, he has to make the business decision to get that in that position, because he needs to make the business decision to get in that position. And he's already in position, but he got to make that petition. Because in reality, if he would have fought Lomachenko, if he would have told his people rather than fighting Jorge Linares, if he would have fought for the petition to be a voluntary to Lomachenko, even though that I know that Lomachenko was going to fight the winner of Richard Comey and Teofimo Lopez because he considered that undisputed. There's going to be people, again, that I said earlier, that's going to want Lomachenko, why he doesn't fight Devin Haney now? He's the #1 rated WBC. Why is he going to fight Devin Haney if he's in petition already to fight George Kambosos through the WBO or the WBC? And guess what? Maybe they'll fight the petition that I'm asking for. Maybe the petition that I'm asking for Devin Haney to sign, Top Rank is going to do it in the WBC side as well for Lomachenko. Because just like I said in the beginning of the video, and just like you listen, you could petition the franchise as a voluntary. It's time for Devin Haney again to petition. Let's go. Let's make it happen. You can't tell the people. You know the people can't do nothing for you. You is in power position, not the people. Oh, and before I forget, remember the tweet when Devin Haney says that don't let them cheat me out of my shot at undisputed. If anyone deserve it, it's me. It's not about us not letting them cheat you out of your shot. Cheat you out of your shot is you not cheating yourself out of it. And this is why, Devin Haney, you need to petition the WBC. You need to do it. Let them vote on it. Because it's like I said before, man. It's gonna be hard, man. Bob Arum, he don't find the loopholes. He creates them. And he's gonna petition for the WBO and even the WBC. You better do it before Bob Arum does it. Because they were the first one to petition for the franchise anyway. Damn. I almost forgot to. You remember this tweet when Devin Haney and Lomachenko was going at it? When Devin Haney said, I'm free, end of April, early May. And Lomachenko this is the standard time for preparation. I'll be ready. Why they just didn't drop that negotiation? Because they petitioned to fight Jorge Linares around that time. They petitioned to fight Jorge Linares around that time. Lomachenko was free. I hope they would have just gone straight through and jumped on that money, on that bag, and lure in Lomachenko. That didn't happen. That didn't happen because they already petitioned for Jorge Linares. They already knew what they wanted. Maybe Devin Haney didn't want it, but the business handlers wanted Jorge Linares. Also, like I said earlier in the video, if back then, I'm sorry, fast forward to after the Jorge Linares when you became a free agent, shit, you could have gone to that meeting, man. You could have gone to the meeting, and probably it wouldn't be no Richard Comey versus Lomachenko. It would have been you versus Lomachenko on ESPN. And then you would have been in the sole position to get that shot versus George Kambosos. Devin Haney should have been ahead of the game, ahead of the curve. And now, he's fall behind the 8-ball. And Lomachenko right now is in the driver's seat to get that fight with George Kambosos. Even Gervonta Tank Davis, but I don't think that Mayweather Promotion is going to do that. It's going to file a petition. Lomachenko's in the driver's seat right now, y'all. Gotta stay up in your business, man. Gotta stay up on the business. I hope that Devin Haney gets it. I hope they do whatever they need to do to get that fight. I think he deserves. I think he's the guy that mostly deserves it right now, in my opinion. But it's not what the fans want, man. It's what the boxing gods want. You know, it's what the boxing handlers is the one that those hands in the cookie jars, those investors, networks, or whatever, man. It's how the money and all the politics is boxing, man. We're just bystanders, man. We don't control shit.